So the sleeve here now, we're just gonna use this 14 sleeve as I mentioned. So we have the length of the sleeve, the circumference of the sleeve, and then we have the bicep, which is 14, right? So what I'm gonna do here first, I'm just gonna measure to see if it's around 14. So if it's a little way off, that's fine. So it's around 14. It's about 14 and something here for the bicep here, and that's perfectly fine. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna take the length of the sleeve. So the length of the sleeve here is 15. We're gonna go 16. So half an inch joining for the top part and half an inch joining for the bottom part. And of course, this is a longer sleeve. So what I'm gonna do, you could of course put a tape to keep the sleeve intact. But I'm just gonna put my my scissors here. So we're gonna measure half an inch up. So that will be the beginning of the sleeve here. And we're gonna go down 16. All right, so 16 right here. I'm gonna take my long ruler here. And I'm gonna make sure it's come up here. And I'm gonna do this here and do this here. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna come out. Okay, let's do it one at a time. I come out here and I come out here. Beautiful. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do now is that I am going to, so we have the length of the sleeve, so the bicep. So I'm gonna come out for the bicep area. I'm gonna come out like just a little bit over half an inch. Right, so about half an inch, so 5/8 of an inch, so about 5/8 of an inch. I'm gonna come out for the bicep, and I would leave, so I come out 5/8 of, I'll use half an inch for joining allowance, and then I would also go another 1 inch, so I'll go 3/4 of an inch in total to add easing. Okay, so you could also do that. So half an inch seam allowance, and then I want a little bit of joining, easing, sorry. So I don't want too much easing. If it's too much, I could always tailor it down, but I think 1/4 of an inch is good for both sides, so that's fine. So come here, so 3/4 of an inch, I go out completely. All right, and again up here I'm gonna do just go half an inch, so half an inch all the way out. So half an inch, meeting to my 3/4 of an inch here. All right, so just gonna curve it in. So half an inch all the way up. So again, if you have a curved ruler, you can always curve it in. So I'll just come half an inch here, and you just kind of join them as you go along. Half an inch. And if you're good at freehanding, you could also freehand it as well. So for the purpose of this video, I'm just gonna do this. You're gonna go half an inch all the way up. So now, if you're making this garment for you, and this is your measurement, then you know what measurement you're gonna be using constantly, all right? If it's for a client, then of course you always have to measure from the bust or the bicep from the sleeve. Basically just stick with the bust. Once you divide the bust in 4, then you could always go with that bust measurement to get, if it's a size 4, a size 8, that could be a guide, okay? So again, on this side, I'm gonna go out 3/4 of an inch, same thing here, okay? So 3/4 of an inch here. And I will just come up 3/4 of an inch here and half an inch here. So just curve your way down. And you just join, that's pretty much it. Take your time and you join it nicely. I would highly encourage you to invest in a ruler, a curved ruler. It's very important. All right, should just curve it all around. All right, so then I'm gonna come down with my 3/4 of an inch down here as well. So let's join it out here. 3/4. Make sure you have this stable so you don't move it, okay? 3/4, 3/4. So that 3/4, I'm gonna just join it down here. The bigger your garment is better for you. Like if you're the one, the sleeve is too big, oh my goodness, it's good. Because at least you could work. But the sleeve we're making actually, it doesn't really matter because we're gonna make it bigger anyway. But I'm just letting you know for your knowledge. And when we're making another sleeve, so definitely go ahead and make it as big as you want. As big as you know, as you think it should be. And then if the client finds it's too big, then you could always alter it down. But if it's too small, then you don't want an unhappy client, an unhappy review, an unhappy everything. So that's it there. So I'm just gonna bring this out here. I'm gonna stick my diamond joint. It's kind of curved a bit, so. All right. Okay, that's pretty much it. So I'll join this to this. And then I'll just put my 1/2 inch here so I know I have 1/2 inch in my allowance here as well. And then we have 3/4 of an inch joining allowance here, right? So we're just gonna come out. Now this is not a must, it's just for your own knowledge. Alright, so come up to the 1/2 inch here, right? Remember this is 1/2 inch here, so we'll just leave it like that. Okay, so something like that. So I'll leave it here because this is another 1/2 inch going up here again, right? Okay. All right, so now it's done. Now, if it was making a regular sleeve, this is perfect. But we're gonna add more points to the sleeve. So let's cut it out first. And then we'll continue. Now, if you want a regular sleeve, you could stay at this level. You don't have to do anything else. But if you want the sleeve according to the style and the dress, then you could continue with the next step. Okay, so your sleeve, cut 2. All right, so what we'll do the next step of the sleeve now. Okay, so now we're gonna be making the gather now. So we're making a gather plus sleeve. Now, if you don't wanna do the gather, that's fine. You can just keep this sleeve. and go along. But for the style we're making, we are putting gathered in the sleeves as well. All right. So what you want to do is to take your sleeve pattern, right, and then we want to bend it in half. And also you want another sleeve pattern as well. Sorry, you want another piece of paper. So the other piece of paper, now what you could do, you could take your bicep measurement, time it by 3. So my bicep is 15. You could go 15 multiplied by 3 to get the length of the puff of how much you want it. In this case, I didn't do that. I just go 40. So the length of this is about 40. About 40 inches right here. Right? So that's the full length. And then the width, of course, you could just get a piece of paper so you could fold up everything, right? Eventually you will join it out anyway. So this is what we're gonna be doing. You're gonna fold this paper in half like this. We wanna make a full bouncing gathered sleeve. So we're gonna just fold it in half from this side. Just this side is fine, right? Okay, good. And then we're gonna make a line. If you want, you could also measure this to get the middle part as well. So just measure it together to get the middle part. Well, all right. So anyway, I'm going to put a line down in the middle. Okay. Then I'm going to put another line again. So I'll put another line this way. So you could come 1 inch apart with a line, another line. 1 inch apart with my line here. 1 inch apart with my line here. Then you're gonna go 2 inch now. So 2 inch apart and 2 inch apart. 2 inch apart and 2 inch apart. So we're gonna just mark it down. Focusing well here, so 2 inch apart, and then we're gonna go 2 inch apart again. Right, and here we'll do the same thing. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna take our scissors and we're gonna cut through the line, not all the way, as close as we can. Let's leave about 1/2 inch or just before 1/2 inch. We're not gonna cut it out because we're gonna spread it apart. Be careful you don't pull it out. So this we're just gonna come here. So just gonna skip the middle and move on to the other side. Okay, so we're gonna have our tape measurements here, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna spread them apart now. So just gonna have this here. It's gonna stay here. Then we're gonna spread our spread it apart. So keep it there. So you want to loosen it out. So you just want to come up close to the edge so you could Yeah, get a nice bounce. Okay, so here. All right, so I'm gonna put the middle part, let it stay stable for me. Okay, so this come down nicely here. So this I go up a little bit higher, and I will measure in a bit. So okay, so this one I don't want to go too far. So let me measure how much I go here. So I go 5 3/4 here. Here I didn't go too much. I go like, I should come with like 1.5. Okay, I'll just leave it. I came out like around 1.5. Yes, it is about 1.5, just before 1.5 here it came out. So you could come out 1.5 here, that's fine. It was just before 1.5, so 1, yeah, 1 7/8, I believe. Okay, so just before the 1.5 I came out here. I didn't go too much with this one. Let's stick it down. This one I came out really high. This one I actually managed 6 1/8 of an inch. This one was really broad. So for this side here now, I would go out 4.5. You would always go wider if you want. The goal is I just want to make sure that the both sides is at least the same. Yeah. So 4.5 here, I'll go out here. Let's slide it out here. Is it? Yep, 4.5. So we come out about 4.5 here. Okay. Okay. So what you're gonna do here now? So the both sides must be at least even. And from this side, about 19. Let's hopefully we get 19 on the other side. So we have a little bit more on one of those sides. Hold on. So 18.5. So I could just go to a little bit with this one here, just to make sure it's 19 on both sides. Just to make sure it's 19. So 19. I think here. Yeah, I think here maybe I didn't go out. Yeah, I think it was just a little inch. I said, you know what? Things always happen like that. I think somewhere here. But anyway, I'll just push it out here so I can get my 19 itself. The goal is just want to make sure that it's even. You can go more if you want. Oh yeah. Okay, it's about 19. Okay, so now that we tape everything down, what we're gonna go ahead and do now is just to draft it down. So if you have your curve ruler, you could just kind of curve your way down, right? Curve your way down. You just want to connect the, so you're gonna curve nicely. Okay. Curve all the way down. Because we're gonna cut it out, of course, right? So, sorry. Cover all the way down. Great. Right, and then up here now, if you want, you could just join it because we're gonna cut it out anyway. Right, you're gonna cut everything out. Okay, so let's cut. You see, if you want to go broader, like say for instance your sleeve is longer, then you would need more paper, right? You could decide how long or how short you want your sleeve to be, of course. So we're gonna cut. Now put it with this. Keep this down like more stable, right? If it's moving about. Okay, so this is your sleeve. This is our sleeve we're gonna be working with. We got that first sleeve. Just look at it here. You could take this off if you want, like you don't need this anymore. Right, and then we have our blouse front, our blouse back, our blouse front, right? It's gonna fold. So our sleeve, we're not gonna put on anything on a fold. We're just gonna follow the grain and put it down, so you would see when we're doing our cutting. All right, so that's pretty much it. We have lots more to cut, of course, but we don't really need a pattern for the rest. So this is the one you need with the pattern. Everything else we're gonna be doing without a pattern, and trust me, it's very easy. All right, so let's get started with the next step.